Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the round 21 preview. Can you believe it? Round 21. We've got a new sponsor for the previews for the next couple of weeks, so I want to thank Northern Shed Solutions for sponsoring the video. They do new shed installs. You buy the kit and they install it for you at a great price, much cheaper than a lot of other businesses out there. They do also repairs, extensions if you've got a shed already, and insulation installs. So all you need to do is call 045 0804 066. And if you need a shed, whether it's big or small, they'll install it for you and do a great job. So check them out if you can. Okay, let's get into the game. We face the Brisbane Lions. This is a big test for our boys. They're, I think, on an 8 or 9 game winning streak. They're on fire. They beat the Gold Coast Suns on the weekend in not the most convincing fashion, but nonetheless they got the chocolates. And they look to regain Harris Andrews, which means that Hipwood, who played, I believe, in the back line against the Suns, looks to drift forward again with Joe Danaher, who caused us all sorts of problems last time we played them. When we did pretty well, like when you think about it, it was only about 6 weeks ago at the Gabba. I was there in the cheer squad, and that was the first sort of showing of this attacking football that we're starting to see more consistently now. And we kicked over 100 points. We went down by 20. It was a really exciting game. And we might get Mateus Filippo back. So that's kind of the main in and out. I don't know who comes out. When you ask me, I have no idea. When you have a performance like that, when everyone puts in and you have this complete team performance, who do you take out? Garcia was the sub. Do we take him out? Maybe to make room, yes, but does that mean Filippo becomes a sub? I don't think so. Does Stocker, who really only had a main task on merit on the weekend, is he the one that's a bit unlucky? I don't know. So put in the comments, let me know. Our form over the last 8 weeks has been great. We're 5-3. We're the 6th ranked team. In that time, Brisbane are number 1. In the last 5, we have lost to Port by 2, beaten Sydney by 2, lost to Adelaide in a really tough game in the wet, smashed West Coast in our biggest win in a while, and then backed it up and smashed the Bombers, who had finals on the line and choked pretty hard there. Brisbane beat Melbourne by 5, beat Adelaide by 11, beat West Coast by 13, beat Sydney by 2. So when you look at that, they've had 4 of their last 5 have all been by less than 14 points. Last week, 28 points to the Suns. So they're winning, but they're not absolutely blowing teams out of the water. Like Adelaide have been down on form, only lost by 11. Melbourne have been down, lost by 5. Even West Coast kicked 93 points against them in Perth. And then Sydney, obviously, who have been struggling lately, only lost by 2 points at the Gabba. So maybe there's something there. I'm pretty excited to see how we go against their midfield. Obviously, they're absolutely star-studded, and we've known that about Brisbane for, the last 5 or 6 years. Obviously, Dunkley's in very good form. Lockie Neal, Brownlow Fancy. McCluggage has been great. Berry's been great. McInerney in the ruck always gives Rowan Marshall a very difficult game, unlike Draper on the weekend. Joe Danaher is always good for 2 or 3 goals against us. But the big focus for Brisbane isn't the tools. It's their dangerous smalls. It's kind of scary how many they've got. Zach Bailey, Cam Rayner always kills us, and he's been in very good form since that game at the Gabba. On top of that, they've got, who are the other smalls there? Obviously, Charlie Cameron is another one. That's 3. And then I think, is it Lohman? Kai Lohman is kind of the new kid on the block and been doing absolutely amazing things. They got 4 to 5 genuine smalls that could kick a bag on you at any given time. And that's not to mention Hipwood and Danaher, who are the 2 major problems in the air. But I'm not too worried about that because our aerial game against Essendon was excellent. And it looks like the delivery's improved, gives players more space. We're running into more space. We took away their strengths. And I think when you think about the last time we played Brisbane, they're going to kick goals, but they can leak goals. Like their defense isn't as strong as it probably should be. Like if you look at the scores they've conceded, over 70, nearly 80 points, 90 points, 86 points, 81 points, and 65 to the Suns, who were inaccurate pretty early. Whereas the most we've conceded is 82 points to Sydney, and we won. Apart from that, we've conceded 55, 41, 71, and 62. So our defense is rock solid. Our attack is improving. We've averaged over 84 points per game in the last 6 weeks, and we're only conceding, 60 points in that time, really. So it's been great. Our form line is much better than probably people give us credit for. And we've got confidence. And, on paper, Brisbane, probably the best team in the comp. There's no question about it. But at Marvel, under the roof, last game of the round, 4:40. That's our favourite time slot, baby. We love the 4:40 slots where you go back on the years, we're probably unbeaten in that time slot. I don't know if that's something to hang your hat on, but, there's going to be some really good matchups. You've got Kel Wilkie down there, probably on... I don't know if he'll play on Danaher. I mean, Caminiti played on Danaher last time we played, but Caminiti's not playing back in this game, not after the performance he put in last week down in the forward line. You got Josh Battle there who could take a Hipwood or Danaher. Dougal Howard probably takes Danaher because I think he got injured in that game at the Gabba, and that's why Caminiti went back. He got subbed out, if I'm not mistaken. So he's fully fit. I'm just really excited to see us take this game on. I don't think... It's nice to go into a game and not really question whether we'll take the game on or not, because the last month we've been doing that. Even in Adelaide, how well, you think about it, we lost, but how well did we really start? We started on fire in that game. Our pressure was through the roof, and then we just didn't know how to navigate the wet weather football from midway through the second quarter onwards, and we struggled from that point. But early, Sharman had kicked 2, we were up, the midfield was on top, our pressure was great, very similar traits to what we've seen in the last 2 weeks against West Coast and Essendon. So if we can take that mentality into this game and just go for it, I think we can test Brisbane. I really do. I think the longer a team keeps winning, the more likely they are to lose, and Brisbane are on quite a winning streak, and I kind of like that. I like that we are the hunters at the moment. We just want to shake that tree and see what falls, and Ross wants to be the Grinch. This is another opportunity because Brisbane want to sew up top 4, top 2. Even top spot still not out of their reach because Sydney are dropping games. So they've got everything to play for, Brisbane, but I love that we're finding new goals every week. And the goal this week is to knock off probably the most informed team in the competition. So we saw what we did against Sydney. We got up for that game. We knew the challenge was there and we took it on. I don't see this being any different. So Filippo in is probably the most likely. I wouldn't be surprised if we went unchanged and we gave him one more week and brought him in against Richmond, but I'd love to see Mateus in the midfield against the Brisbane Lions midfield, and we're going to learn a lot. We're going to see how far we've actually come in the last couple of weeks. I'm just up for the challenge, and I think every Saints fan should be up for the challenge. And based on the sentiment this week after the most recent performance, there's no reason why we can't go into this game and expect a pretty solid, turnout by the boys. So no injuries really to speak of going into this game. Player to return. I think the big one is obviously the midfield. Every week it has been like that. But we're getting the mix right in there. And I think, with Hunter Clark, Filippo back, Sinclair, you've got Jack Steele in great form. Zach Jones has been excellent in the last 2 weeks. I think if we're honest enough, I wouldn't say we can absolutely beat them in the guts. I don't think many teams beat Brisbane in the guts, but I think we can negate them. And we've played some good midfields of late, and Essendon's, everyone says on paper, is a very good midfield. Merritt, we handled him very well. So Stocker, could he go on? Could we keep him in and he could tag someone like a Neil? And that means that Steele doesn't have to do that because there's no Windy, obviously. Maybe that's an opportunity, and then we can attack from that point on. So, and our forward line, we haven't even mentioned that, but obviously Sharman, Caminiti, Membry, Owens, very mobile, very unpredictable. Last time we played Brisbane, Max King did kick 3, but there were a lot of opportunities that kind of we missed with other players on the ground because we were so Max-centric. So it's going to be another proposition. Harris Andrews won't really know who the main man is. That's a great thing, that we're going to be that unpredictable going forward. So if we can get at least break even in the midfield and get it on the outside to Naz, to Hill, to Mason Wood, to Ronnie Burns, and just continue to play the way we've been playing the last 2 weeks, it's going to be a really exciting game. I don't know if we'll get the result, but we'll give it our best chance if we play that type of football. So get to the game, Sainers. 4:40 on Sunday. I know it's not the best time slot, and it's a good time slot to sit at home and put the feet up, but some fans say they're waiting until we play exciting football. Guess what? The last 2 to 3 weeks, we've been doing that. So rock up, support the boys, and let's see if we can knock off the Brisbane Lions and then go into a game against Richmond that's we'll be favourites for. Probably the only game for the rest of the year we might actually be favourites for. So big opportunity, big challenge, and I'm excited for it. So thanks for watching, Saners. Comment your thoughts. Let me know how you're feeling about the game, what the ins and outs are going to be, if any. And I'll see you after the game on Sunday night. Take care, and as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.